Hello everyone. In lab number 6, you are given with these 5 files. Make sure when you open these files, you have your IP address set up on the 3 files, which is Alice, Bob, and Darth. Here, your IP address should be given, which is by looking at the command prompt and typing ipconfig. Similarly, you can check in the Linux machine if you are doing it on the Linux machine. So make sure that for 3 of them, which is Alice, Bob, and Darth, your IP address is set up to your machine over here. Similarly, in DH, which is Diffie-Hellman file, the code you have already written. So you have to copy paste your code for Diffie-Hellman, which you had written in your lab 5. In lab 6 support, which you are importing the file in Alice, Bob, and Darth, import lab 6 support, and you are using that particular file. So if you will open this file, here what you are supposed to do is you have to type down your code for that custom encryption file that you had written for your lab 3. So you will copy paste your code over here. Once you have done it on your machine, then what you're supposed to do is you have to open 2 command prompts. So let us suppose that I'm opening up this command prompt. Here I have Bob and this is Alice, and Alice and Bob want to communicate with each other. So they will be sharing their key with each other so that they have a common key and they can um, pass on the message with each other. If you are doing it on the Linux machine, if you will open your file here at this particular line, which is set socket or OPT, this line you have to replace it with the one that I have mentioned in your write-up. So let me open the write-up here in this UDP sock set socket port. So in order for you to run it on your Linux machine, make sure that you have updated that particular line to this particular statement, because for Linux specific machine, this command prompt uh, will be working. Okay. So now if I'll open up my command prompt. So I have this and this. So this is Alice and this is Bob. So here I'll just open up, I have it in my folder, which is users vgt16 python 37. So if I'll run my file, which is python bob.py. So it is waiting right now for the shared key from Alice. So here, once again, I'll come over here and here, let me just minimize it a bit. And here I'll write Python and then Alice.py. Here, if you would see that the message is right now, he has shared, and between Alice and Bob, the calculated shared key is 5. So now if I type any message, let's suppose if I say hello, Bob would be also receiving hello over here. If I type in hi, you will see that it is receiving. So this is just a test, and you will see everything is being transmitted over here. Make sure there is no, if you provide any space, then the message will not be communicated. So make sure that whenever you are typing it without right now the code is written in such a particular manner. So if I say this gets transmitted, if I want to exit, I'll do exit and both of them are out. Now in case there is a third party, which is Darth in this case, tries to listen in this communication and communicates with each other, then what happens? So let's suppose that I have once again Alice. This is Alice, this is Bob, and this is Darth. Once again, let's start over here. This is Python Bob, and here I have, let's suppose Darth. So Python py. This is also waiting, but now if I'll start my Alice over here, and if you will see that the message is just being communicated between Alice and Bob. So on a Windows machine, there is an issue, but if you will run this in the Linux server, you would still be able to have the 3 command prompt running perfectly fine. But in this case, it won't be working because of the some issues with the Windows machine. So if you are working, and which I know that most of you are working on Windows machine, so here in this case, this doesn't work. So let me just come out of it. So now let's suppose that Dart wants to listen in the communication which is happening between Alice and Bob. So let's suppose I'll come out over here as well. And let's see. Let's see, this is Dart in this case. So let's say Python Dart, which is listening in. So it is waiting for the shared key from Alice, but this was just communicated between Alice and Bob. So if I'll run Alice, and you will see that the shared key between the two was 5, but Dart's between Bob and Alice, between Alice and Dart is 12. So whatever is the communication which is happening between Alice and Bob, he would not be able to intercept. So let's suppose if I say hello, you would see an entirely different message which is coming sent um, to Dart in this case. If I say Hina, once again, a totally entire different message. So this particular exercise was done so that you can understand that if a Diffie-Hellman shared key is communicated between two party, it would be always between the two party. The third intruder, if he tries to listen in this communication, would not be able to listen in. So at the end, you have to share the screenshot of the communication between Alice, Bob, and Alice and Dart in your lab submission, and the updated files for all these files, the changes that you have done. That's all. Thank you, everyone.